if you don't design your systems will design you. All right, let's paint a picture. It's Sunday morning. The worship team's running late. The slides aren't loading, and no one's quite sure who's greeting at the front door. The family that visited you guys last week, you meant to follow up, but somewhere between Monday meetings and midweek, you forgot about it. The card disappeared, or it just sat on a desk somewhere. That right there is a system. Now, it's certainly not a good one, but it is a system, and every church has them. Whether you've written them down or not, there's already a rhythm that runs your Sunday mornings, your volunteers, your giving, your follow-up. And the question is not, do you have systems? It's, are your systems working for you or against you? Because the truth is, if you don't design your systems will design you. In today's video, we're breaking down what a church system actually is, how it's different from a strategy or structure, and why getting this right might be the most spiritual thing you can do for your ministry this year. So let's start simple. What exactly is a church system? A system is a repeatable process that produces predictable results. That's it. It's not mystical. It's not overly corporate. It's just the rhythm that your church runs on and the way things get done every single week. And here's the thing. Systems exist whether you plan them or not. If new guests show up at your church and nobody greets them, that is a system. If volunteers find out what they're doing 5 minutes before service or Saturday night because you forgot to send the invite, that's a system. It's just a bad one. It's a broken one. So when you think of a system, don't just think about automation or software. Think about the intentional steps that help people move from one place to another. For example, your first-time guest process might include a friendly greeting at the door, a quick digital connect card, a follow-up text on Monday, and an invite to their next step. That is a system, and when you run it consistently, it builds trust, because clarity is kindness. It's familiarity, and systems bring clarity, not just for your guests, but for you and your team. Now, let's clear up a big point of confusion, because this is where a lot of churches get tangled up. People use words like system, strategy, and structure almost interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. And if you mix them up, you build something that looks busy, but doesn't actually move anyone closer to Jesus. Here's how I break it down. Your strategy, that's your goal. It's the why behind what you do. For example, you're a church and you're really passionate about making your guests feel known, loved, and connected within the first 30 days that they come into contact with your church. That is your strategy. Your system is how you make that happen. The repeatable steps that turn that goal into a reality. So that might look like sending a text within 24 hours, following up with an email on the third day, and inviting them to a next steps or growth track by week 2. And your structure, that is the who. This might be your connections pastor, your volunteer, your greeters, and software like Text in Church that does the automation for you. Think of it like your body. Your strategy is to stay healthy, okay? Your system is your heartbeat, and it's what keeps things moving every single day. And your structure is your skeleton. It gives shape and support so everything stays aligned. Now, this is where we lose most pastors and people tune off. We've got strategy. Pastors have strategy out the wazoo. They have vision statements, missions, goals, but no system to back it up. Or on the flip side, you've got a system, but it's not personable. There's structure. Nobody owns it. Nobody's accountable. And that's why stuff falls apart after a few months, because the system is not supported by people and it's not supported by structure. Now, when someone says we are not growing or people are not getting more connected, it's rarely a vision problem. It's almost always a systems problem. It's almost always a system problem. The vision is clear, but the pathway to accomplish that vision is not. And if you want to see genuine, life-changing transformation in your church, not just attendance and warm seats, but actual, not just attendance and not just filling seats, but actual legitimate discipleship, you've got to align all three: your strategy, your system, and your structure. So let's make this practical. What does a church system actually look like? We can talk about this all day. So we can talk about this all day long, but sometimes you need to see it to understand it. So we're going to start with probably the most important system that you guys need, and it's often the most broken. It's your guest assimilation system. This is everything that happens from the moment someone clicks on your website to the moment they decide, yeah, I think this is my church. Here's a simple version. They plan their visit online. They're greeted by name when they arrive. They fill out a Connect card. They get a thank you text within 24 hours. They get an invite to next steps that week. Now, none of that happens by accident. And if you're doing it on a person by person basis, you're going to run out of steam eventually. Each step is intentional, and each one builds trust with that new person. Because people don't stay at churches because of great sermons. They stay because someone followed up. So when you design that guest system very well, airtight, you're actually building a bridge between their first impression and their first transformation. So when you design that guest system well, you're actually building a bridge between their first impression and their first transformation. Next up, volunteer onboarding. You would be amazed how many churches just pray for more volunteers, but have no system to onboard the ones they already have. A healthy system looks like this. It is an interest form or a simple conversation, a meet and greet, or maybe a quick interview if that's how you guys do it, training sessions or shadow week, schedule a feedback loop, and that is it. 4 clear steps. And the beauty of this whole thing is that it protects your team from burnout, because when people know what is next, they're not guessing, they're able to grow. Healthy volunteers come from healthy systems. Here's another one. Your giving system. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, people should give as, the Lord compels them to. And you're absolutely right. But giving is not just spiritual. It is structural. When you have a clear system, you make generosity easy and trustworthy. For example, automated thank you emails every time someone gives, quarterly updates showing the impact of that giving, a clean process for year-end statements. It's not about manipulating people or twisting their arm into giving. It's about removing friction. So generosity is allowed to flow naturally. Now, here's a bonus for you guys. If you're watching this and you're a media director or communications lead, your content is a system too, okay? At my business, White Oak Media, we call this a repurpose flow. We take your Sunday sermon, we edit it, we clip it, we caption it, we post, and then we schedule. Every piece of content you make should be a part of a system that multiplies your message, not drains your time. So here's what I want you to catch. Every healthy church system has 3 things. It's intentional, has 3 things. It's intentional. You know what should happen. It's repeatable. You can do it every week, and it's measurable. You know if it's working. And that's what turns a good idea into something that actually has impact. Let me say something that might sting you guys a little bit. If you don't design your systems, your system will design you. And what I mean is this, that the way your church runs today is the result of the systems you've either built or the result of the systems that you have allowed. If you feel like you're always behind, always firefighting, always trying to plug holes, that's not just bad luck in a busy season. That's your system leading you. And every pastor has been there. I've been in seasons where ministry felt like survival. I was reacting to everything instead of responding to it. And people would say, "Oh, Pastor Zach, there's so much going on. How are you able to juggle it all?" And the reality is I wasn't. Things were falling through the cracks, and I was just trying to plug as many holes as I could, but the system was leading me, and I was not leading a system. When you take time to design your systems, to think through your guest process, your communications flow, your volunteer pipeline, you move from reaction to intention. You stop being driven by the chaos of a Sunday morning, and you start being guided by a clear, repeatable rhythm that serves your people well. That is the spiritual power of systems. It's not about being more corporate. It's about being more consistent, because consistency builds trust, and trust builds discipleship. Think about it this way. Jesus had systems too. He sent people out 2 by 2. He broke bread. He even had a follow-up process. He called it discipleship. So if the Son of God used systems to reach people, maybe it's time we started designing ours with the same kind of intentionality. All right, let's land this plane. You might be watching this and thinking, wow, this all sounds great, but where do we start? And the good news is that you already have systems. They just might not be intentional yet. So here's your first step. Pick one area of your church, just one, and maybe it's a guest follow-up, maybe it's communication between staff, maybe it's volunteer scheduling. Grab a piece of paper or open a Google Doc and write out every step that currently happens in that area. Who does what? When does it happen? Where does it fall apart? Once you've got it written out, you'll start to see the gaps, and those gaps are where systems are born. You don't need a rebrand. You don't need a new team. You don't need fresh vision. You just need clarity. And when you can see it, you can fix it. And when you fix it, you can multiply it. Every healthy church, no matter the size, runs on healthy systems. So if this helped you today, hit the subscribe button and join me for the next episode where we're breaking down the first-time guest journey step by step. And if you want a simple worksheet to help you start mapping out your own church systems, grab it free at whiteoakmedia.io/systems. I'll see you guys next time.